You cheated me. Everybody here knows that. You cheated.
Back off, Del.
Stay honest. I know what I'm doing.
Your luck's thin, kid. Don't rub it too hard. You play with the men. Now try and lose like one.
All right, now get him out of here. And make sure he doesn't come back. You're gonna be sorry, Tanner.
I'm real worried.
Well, you start digging. 'Cause I'm coming back for you. Then we'll tree this town if we have to.
You're talking awful big for a kid with a hole in him.
Maybe. But you're gonna die, Tanner. You're gonna die sure. Come on, everybody. Drinks around the house.
Trackdown, starring Robert Culp. Brought to you by Lucky Strike. Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
A man who can recognize the genuine article gets it in Lucky Strike.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like, the honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
You the ranger?
Yep.
I'm Fred Crate. Del Taylor's one of my boys.
Well, we all got our problems.
Right now, yours are bigger.
That's so?
Unless you want this town treed higher than a thunderhead, you better believe it.
Maybe you better take another look, mister. You're in my office. I don't like to get pushed around where I live.
Wait outside, Mike. Well, go on. What have you done about Tanner Smith?
Nothing.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing. I talked to the people who saw it happen. Your boy got into a card game over his head. He lost, he got mad, he pulled his gun, that's all. He's lucky to be walking around.
My boy says he was cheated.
It's not the way I heard it.
Well, I don't know whether he was cheated or not. It's unimportant. I still have to buy his story.
Why?
Because he's one of my boys and I have to take care of him. If I don't, I come up with no trail hands. Tell me, Ranger, how important is this Tanner Smith to you?
He's a card player, that's all.
And give him to me. It's either that or toss him in a cell on attempted murder.
Well, I'm afraid I can't do either one under the law.
Well, you better do one of them, or this town won't be standing up in the morning.
You seem pretty sure.
I am sure. Right now, Dell's out talking to the boys. He's got them pretty head up. They're ready to ride through Porter and tear it right into the mud. They want Tanner Smith.
Well, they're not going to get him.
24 hours, Ranger. Then you've either got Smith jailed, or we're coming after him.
I think that'd be a big mistake.
I do, too. That's the way the boys want it, and I have to go with them. Bad thing is, Ranger, some of my boys don't see too good. Now, if we have to come in here, maybe some of your folks will be standing close to Tanner Smith. They're going to end up bleeding.
Well, gun points two ways. I'd control those men if I was you.
I'm the trail boss. I don't control him in town.
The town of Porter had been threatened before, and most of the threats had vanished like the morning fog. As far as everyone knew, this time would be no different. Tanner Smith had been in Porter for a week. He and Hobie had met, nodded, and gone their separate ways. Tanner's story about the shooting had been verified by half a dozen people, and Hobie had been satisfied. But Fred Crate's visit had changed that.
Oh, morning, Mr. Gilman.
Tanner?
You want some breakfast?
No, thanks.
How about some coffee?
Yeah, all right.
Oh, miss, coffee? What's on your mind?
Well, I got a question for you. I'd like to have the truth. Did you, turn clean cars last night?
You know, I've seen men die for that question.
Yeah, well, there's a few may die for the answer this time.
The kid had a good deal. Why?
His foreman was just in my office. He wants me to lock you up.
What for?
Attempted murder. Says if I don't throw you into a cell, this Del Taylor and the boys are going to come in and take you and a piece of the town along with you.
What does the law say?
Well, I don't want Porter wrecked.
Well, you put it that way, you might as well get yourself a new town because I'm not going to jail.
You ever been in trouble with the law?
Well, not so it cost me time.
What's your name? The real one.
Well, the first one's Tanner. It's been that since I was about 19. That was when I made my first stake, you know, the first good one.
Why Tanner?
Well, I was up in Rawlings, Wyoming. That was the first big game I ever sat in on. Things were going real bad. I couldn't improve on a 6-high. Then the switch was pulled, and I came up with 40 miles of railroad track.
It's 410s.
The name stuck.
Well, what about the rest of it, this Smith?
Well, I'll tell you. Anybody calls Tanner, I know they're talking to me. The last name doesn't matter.
Well, what do you plan to do about this kid?
Just what I am doing. Nothing.
Well, I suggest you give that a little thought.
Mr. Gilman, I left tracks in all of the dirt this side of the Mississippi. I'm tired of getting out of the way.
All right, Tanner, you're sitting in a good spot right now. And if I can't talk some sense into Crate's boys, you better start packing.
Is that his name? Crate?
Uh-huh.
The next time you see him, give him a message for me, will you? Tell him the last time his boy was hit with a pea shooter. But if he comes near me again, I'll level a gun at his belt that'll kill a whale. Oh, Mr. Gilman. You're welcome.
Hobie! Hobie!
What do you want, Henrietta?
Word.
Morning, Miss Porter.
Well,
All right, Henrietta, what do you want to talk about?
what's this I hear about Tanner Smith?
Well, he shot a man last night.
I know that. What about this town being smashed tomorrow?
Now, how'd you find out about it?
Oh, I have my ways.
Yeah, so I see.
Well, do I hear right?
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't have your ears.
Well, I'm glad, because I don't want them shot off.
All right, Henrietta, what did Ralph tell you?
Well, either you give up Tanner Smith or this man Crate will wreck this town.
Well, there's a couple other ways.
What are they?
Jail Tanner.
Then there isn't any problem. That's the answer.
Well, he doesn't want to go to jail.
Well, then you convince him, huh? You've got the badge.
He hasn't broken a law, Henrietta. If I arrest him, I'm backing down to Crate and his men. I'm not about to do that.
Well, then what are you going to do?
Well, talk to him, try to get through. I think this kid has sold them all a bill of goods. Crate's got to stand where he is. He can't back down without a good reason. It's up to me to find him one.
And if you don't?
Well, then you and the rest of the population had better grab a handful of shovels and start digging a hole apiece.
Well, I'm on your side, Hobie, but be careful, huh? And I just don't mean with crate. The people of this town start digging holes, they're going to want to fill them with something. Don't you be handy.
So you told him, my friend.
Yeah, I told him.
Why don't you get some sleep, kid?
I know. I'm gonna stay around and see the fun.
Ain't gonna start for 12 hours yet.
Well, now, look who's paying us a visit.
What are you doing here?
Crate, I want you to get your stuff together and move out.
You know I can't do that.
Now, look at that badge. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I'm gonna get me a badge like that.
Don't do that. How about a Crate?
You got a big mouth, mister.
You ride into Porter tomorrow, I guarantee you won't ride out.
Now, hey, no, I'm talking to you.
Get that out.
Hold it! Put the gun away, Mike.
Don't order me. Looks like you're getting tired of playing trail boss anyway.
Stop it! It was a fool thing to do.
He had a big mouth, and I didn't like it.
All right, put him on his horse. Tie him. You better hope he comes out of this all right, because I understand the Rangers don't like their men kicked around.
Used to be trail bosses didn't like their men shot up either.
Maybe we ought to get us a new boss. One who'll stand behind his men.
All right. If that's what you want, we'll ride into Porter the first thing in the morning.
A job well done can be even more satisfying when it's followed by a good cigarette. That's Lucky Strike. Here's the honest taste of fine tobacco. With Lucky's, you never get less. Smoke anywhere and you'll enjoy the cigarette of fine tobacco. Lucky Strike. The taste is honest. Fresh, smooth, unforgettable.
Never was a man who could forget the taste of a genuine cigarette. Get the honest taste a man can like, the honest taste of a Lucky Strike. The honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Take it easy, Mr. Gilman.
How you get here?
Your horse brought you in. Then Doc checked you over and put you to sleep. Here, try this. I promise nothing except it's hot. What's the matter?
Did you make this yourself?
Oh, you could turn it back in. There's no charge.
Oh, well, as long as you went to trouble.
You're welcome, Mr. Gilman.
Doesn't anything ever bother you, Tenor?
Some. I figured out there are two kinds of things that cause a man to worry. Those he could do something about and those he can't.
Well, that's pretty profound.
Well, the things he could help he should go to work on. The others he can't change anyway, so why force it?
What kind of situation you figure this is?
One of the former. I can do something about this.
Do what?
Well, I've got a few friends. And when Mr. Crate's boys ride into Porter, they'll find us waiting to entertain them.
What about the rest of the people in town?
Well, I'll have to choose sides.
I suppose they don't want to do that.
Right now, they can't afford a stand.
You're wrong.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to jail.
On what charge?
Making the worst coffee in Texas?
How long do you figure you could hold me?
Long enough.
You know, Mr. Gilman, somehow I didn't figure that you'd back down to Crate.
I'm not. I'm just standing up for Porter.
Morning.
Morning, Ralph. What are you doing here at this hour?
How you feeling, Mr. Gilman?
All right.
You have to hit a head like that pretty hard, Ralph.
Yes, so. Oh, I didn't mean that the way it sounded, Mr. Gilman.
That's all right. What's all this for?
Well, that 24 hours that Craig gave us is almost up. I figured I'd better load these rifles. Looks like we're going to need them.
No, we're not, Ralph. Mr. Smith here's going to jail.
He is. Never thought that'd happen.
Neither did I.
Ralph, oh, well, they're here.
Who?
Who did you expect? Fred Crate and his gang. They just rode into town.
Where are they?
At the Buckhorn.
How many?
I saw 4, but there could be more scattered around town.
Ralph, you go find Judge Henry and Moon. You tell them what's happened.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind, I think I'll just settle down in that cell now.
Oh, no, you're going with me.
Why the switch? I thought you wanted me in jail.
That's right, when there was a chance to avoid trouble. But you built this thing, Tanner. I think you better be around to pay your share of the bill. Now get going. We'll be in the Buckhorn.
Yes, sir.
You want a gun belt?
I don't think so. I don't much favor guns. Seems to me wearing one is sort of extending an invitation to get shot.
What about the Derringer?
I don't much favor dying without a chance either.
All right, Henrietta. Now you stay here and keep out of trouble.
Well, it's a little late for you to be giving orders, isn't it?
I'll give you an answer to that in about an hour. If there's any shooting, you make sure they start it.
Yep.
And be careful there are no Porter people in the way.
Here they come. All right, now you let me handle this, you hear? I don't want any more of what happened last night.
Just as long as you get the gambler. That's all we want.
Good morning.
Look pretty good, Ranger. After what happened.
You're under arrest, Craig, you and your men.
Look around, Ranger. You ain't arresting nobody.
Get his gun.
The gambler has one, too. In his vest.
Get it. Sit down, men. Barkeep.
We don't have any service yet. If you want anything, you have to get it yourself.
Mike, get us a bottle.
What do you want, Craig?
First, I want to say that I'm sorry for what happened last night.
That makes me feel a whole lot better.
Have it your own way. Second, you know how I feel about this. I don't like trouble any more than you do. I gotta stand back on my boys.
What is it you want?
Him? My boy here says he was cheated.
That's a lie.
Take it easy, Del. That's what I aim to find out. Tell me, Ranger, if he was a cheat, would you jail him?
In a minute.
That's good enough for me. Now we'll play a hand of stud. If he wins, he stays with you. If he loses, he goes with me.
What does that prove?
Well, he's got two choices. Jail or my boys. And I think he's going to take jail. In order to cinch it, he's going to cheat.
He could win. Fair.
Yeah, he could. You think he's going to take a chance on the way the cards will fall?
Suppose I say no.
Well, then we'll take him with us now, maybe part of the town. Give me a deck of cards. Make sure the seal isn't broken. You know, we figure you sent for help. I hope they don't come in here and kind of ruin things.
I don't think so. Break them open.
Jokers?
Pull them. All right. I'll deal 2 hands. One for you, one right here.
You want to put some money up? Just to make it interesting.
I think the stakes are high enough.
Oh, come on. Don't wear the spots off.
Cut. Deal 'em. Oh, come on. Throw 'em out. You got the straight tenor?
You know, normally that'd cost you a lot of money.
Well, this time it's different. It's going to cost you. Have you got the straight tenor? Because if you have, you stay with him. If you don't, you belong to me.
Your guess is as good as mine.
You lose, gambler.
Sit down, Del.
That was the deal, wasn't it? If he loses, he belongs to us.
You're a liar.
What are you saying that for? He played the game and he lost.
That's just it. I can see a man throwing a bad card to win a few dollars, but if he's ever going to cheat to save his own life. Tenor, you're off the hook.
You mean you ain't gonna do anything to him?
Taylor, I've taken all I'm gonna from you. You almost pulled the roof in on the whole crowd. When we get back to camp, you start packing and getting. I don't care where you go, you just ride, and you ride fast. Sorry.
Well, if there's a choice, I'm glad it was him instead of me.
You want me?
No, I guess not. When do you plan to leave Porter?
Like I told you, I'm through running.
You better look around, Tanner. He's not going to be the last. You stay here in town, sooner or later I'll have to come after you.
Maybe. But I got one thing going for me. I'll know you're coming.
Bring out the greatest performance of your engine with new Mobil Oil Special. You'll enjoy better gas mileage, too. More power and added protection all year round. Yes, new Mobil Oil Special is specially made to protect one of your most prized possessions, the engine in your car. Trust it to guard against motor damage and costly repairs. Count on it to bring out the extra performance modern cars are built to deliver. Quicker starting and faster pickup, a smoother, more powerful running engine, an actual increase in gas mileage. New Mobil Oil Special is a year-round motor oil. Use it in every season, any climate. Yes, to bring out the greatest performance in your engine, team it up with new Mobil Oil Special. Change now at your friendly Standard Oil dealer.
Come in. Oh, come on in, Mr. Gilman.
Tenor, what's this I hear about you buying the...
That's right. I now own the Buckhorn, lock, stock, and champagne. Would you like some?
No, thanks. Look, Tenor, it's all over now. Crate's been cleared, and as far as the law is concerned, there's nothing more, but I'd like to know the truth. Did you cheat that kid?
I told you that the game was honest. I can't prove it to you, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Cut.
No.
Do you remember what Fred held?
3 kings.
And I had an almost straight.
Mm-hmm.
I could have done it. I almost did. Then I figured I've never cheated anyone that didn't deserve cheating, Mr. Gilman. And if I had to die, I was going to die honest.
Well, I guess I had you figured wrong, Tenor.
I don't think so, Mr. Gilman. But you'll have to be a little quicker
What?
if you're going to catch me at it.
Well, next week, another Trackdown story. I hope you'll see it. And when you buy your next carton of cigarettes, get the genuine article. Get the honest taste of a Lucky Strike.
Trackdown was brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company. Remember, tobacco is our middle name. And here's a word for filter tip smokers.
The white ring, the Tareyton ring, marks the real thing. New dual filter Tareyton. Tareyton's exclusive dual filter provides the efficient filtering action of cellulose acetate in a pure white outer filter, plus the remarkable filtering properties of activated charcoal in an exclusive inner filter, to give you the real thing in mildness and fine tobacco taste, as no single filter can. Enjoy America's smoothest, most satisfying smoke. New dual filter Tareyton.